All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and really excited to be hosting our first webinar here at BubbleIQ, broadcasting to you guys from beautiful Boulder, Colorado. So, yeah, let's go ahead and hop right in. So, give you a quick outline of what we'll be chatting about today. I'm going to start out with a little intro, kind of give you guys just the broader landscape of what's happening, what we're seeing in the way companies and collaborate with each other, and changes in internal team communication, and as well as communication company to company, and what that means for you and what that means for people in their daily jobs. So start out with that. Then we'll hop right into talking about TrendKite and how they're improving their internal IT support. So the way that internally as a company, employees are reporting tickets and the IT team is handling those tickets. And then we'll go and chat about Breather, and Breather talk about how they're handling really high priority, the urgent tickets that need to be answered really quickly, and what they're doing to improve that process. So should be relatively fast here. I'll kind of go in and out of some slides, and I've got a few demos for you all as well to watch. Cool, we'll hop right in. So I think I want to start and just lay the landscape a little bit. There's this incredible shift happening right now in the workspace, and it's really changing everything about the way that companies operate. And what it is you guys all, I think, know about it. It's this shift towards team chat tools, and I think it's more than just back when tools like Yammer came out. The modern team chat tools such as Slack, Google Chat's new product, Microsoft Teams product, these are not just messaging products. These are actually new user interfaces for work. And what that means is that they're becoming the central interface that everyone at the company really understands and knows how to use. And so that's having a massive impact on the way that all the other tools that teams use interface across departments and across companies. So that's really the trend that we're riding here at BubbleIQ, is this shift towards this new interface for work. We think that creates a lot of really amazing opportunities. These communication channels can get very noisy, but they're also incredible places to increase efficiency and improve operations for companies, both small all the way up to the very large enterprise. With Slack has really been amazing in their enterprise penetration. They've got now over 50% of the Fortune 100 using their product, and I think that's only going to continue to increase. So what does this mean for you, and how does BubbleIQ fit into that? So what we do is we connect your support systems and your IT systems that you rely on every day with those chat tools. And what that means is you're going to be able to respond to tickets more quickly by getting a ticket from a place. We'll kind of be focusing on Zendesk as the ticketing system we'll be talking about today. So taking a ticket in Zendesk, pushing it into a Slack channel at the right moment, or taking a set of communication in Slack and pushing it out to a ticket in Zendesk and making that really easy. And what that means in the long run is increased collaboration across departments. It's allowing employees to live in this user interface that they're really comfortable with and that they want to work out of, while making sure that everything's tracked in a system of records so that you're not losing track of what's going on. So that's what we do. So let's hop right into the first example, TrendKite. So TrendKite is a sort of your all-in-one PR analytics and management dashboard for PR and earned media. So TrendKite was founded in 2012, has raised about $47 million in funding, and has 250 employees. So they use Zendesk for two different things, both their internal IT support as well as their customer-facing support. We'll be specifically talking about the three people that are on their IT support team. So those people manage all the requests coming from those 250 employees and are able to manage any request that comes in and handle it. And so they started using Zendesk in July of 2017 for IT specifically as that internal help desk. And some of their challenges that they had is they're a really big Slack heavy company. They love Slack. They use it super heavily. And so they tried to turn Zendesk on, but they just kept getting direct messages on Slack from the employees right to the IT staff straight through Slack. They couldn't manage that. They couldn't track it. There was no easy way to understand what was happening with all those questions. And a lot of times the ball was just getting dropped. They tried to push people to use a web form, tried to push people to use email, but the employees didn't want that. They wanted to be able to really do their responses from inside of Slack. And so what they did is they started implementing BubbleIQ in December, and what they wanted to be able to do and what BubbleIQ allowed them to do is allow tickets to be created via Slack. So the ticket can be made right from Slack. I'll kind of show you guys how that works in a minute. Gets assigned to an IT support person. They can then either reply from Slack or from Zendesk, and the employee is going to see all the responses to the tickets from right inside of Slack. So they got that up and going in December. I'll flip over and I'll show you guys a little demo of how that works and what it looks like. So right here, I've got one of the employees. Imagine this is an employee at TrendKite. So he has messaged me and said, "Hey, can you help me out? My monitor isn't working." Right, and so over on my side, I've got a message from him that says, "Hey, my monitor isn't working," and what I can do is I can take his message and actually mark the message as well as the end of the message. So I mark the beginning of the message with this push pin, and then I mark the end of the message with a key reaction. And what that's going to do is that's going to take all those messages and it's going to create a ticket in Zendesk. And so you can see now the BubbleIQ bot has messaged me and it said, "Hey, ticket created." Great. It gives me a link out to the ticket. And then same, it's also actually messaged Mugatu and said, here's the new ticket that just got created for you. And it's tagged him in the thread. Hey, this is going to be synced with a ticket in Zendesk. And you can see that all of the back and forth on this ticket has been pushed into, or back and forth from Slack has been pushed into the ticket. So now if I hop back over here as the agent, and let me get the right Chrome profile. So on the agent side, I can now open up this ticket directly in Zendesk. I can see everything I need to about this person's request. And I can actually reply from here and say, "Hey, try turning it off and back on again." I'm going to submit that ticket. Let's change the status here to open. And we'll keep it open on this side. And then you can see that Mugatu's been notified here. These Zoolanders responded to him, "Hey, try turning it back off and on again." The status of the ticket is now changed to open. And he can now say, "Oh, okay, great, thanks, it's working now." And so, boom, he's got his ticket all resolved there. I, as the agent, I can see his reply here, maybe solve this ticket, and now he'll see that this ticket has been resolved if I pop over and look at the ticket as Mugatu. So there you go. Just like that, Mugatu's issues have been solved. He still was able to chat back and forth via Slack, and the employee's happy. The IT person has everything tracked. That's one way that Mugatu can make a ticket, by sort of messaging me directly. Another way is he could actually just go directly to the bot if he knows he wants to create a ticket and just use either /support or just /helpdesk. When he does that, you have the option to actually link that up to a ticket form in Zendesk. So that ticket form, right, this is a pretty simple one, but you could load up to 3 different fields into that form and have a set of required fields to better understand what the request is and where it's coming from. So he could go in here and say, "I need a new laptop. Thank you," and submit a ticket there. And that's going to build that ticket inside of Zendesk. And now, same thing, that pops into the queue on the Zendesk side and can be fully done from Zendesk for the IT agent, but the end user, the employee, can see all their responses posted back directly into Slack. So that's a brief overview of the IT use case and how TrendKite is really improving their IT support using BubbleIQ. Some of the results that they've had an 80% reduction in first reply time and a 70% reduction in first resolution time. So really huge improvement for them. Employees are getting a much faster resolution time. And really, I think the big thing here is not necessarily that the IT team is responding quicker, but it's that the employees are more likely to respond fast and answer questions and go back and forth and get all the information the IT person needs to solve the ticket. So it's really a better system for them for internal communication, and their employees are happier. As the quote from Chris, who's the director of IT over there, says, it lets our people communicate with us on the platform they love while creating tickets on the platform we love. So that's really our goal over here at BubbleIQ, is to let you live in the systems that you want to be in, and we're the system of intelligence, the glue between the two. So that's our example of TrendKite using IT support and making that whole process better. Let's hop into the use case over at Breather now. So Breather, really cool company. They make these beautiful conference room spaces all over the world. They lease out the space, and then they allow you to book them by the hour, by the month, by the day. Really flexible booking time to do a quick meeting or to maybe temporarily move your entire team into one of these spaces. So they started in 2012. They've raised $75 million in funding. They've got 200 plus employees, spaces all over the world, and about 20 folks on their customer support team. And so they've been using Zendesk for a little while. Back in 2014, they started using it, moved off of just the old school email-based system, and have really bought into Zendesk as their core tool to manage ticketing as they scale. Some of the challenges they've had though with Zendesk are enabling real-time communication outside of their support team and engaging with folks. For them, especially on operations and sales, those are two groups that they really want to engage a lot more with. And they had this really specific problem early last year where their most urgent tickets. So an example might be that the Wi-Fi stops working in one of the spaces or the door gets locked. Those requests require very fast responses and really quick communication. And they have this on the ground operations team that manages those requests. They were having trouble, prioritizing those. So it ended up kind of just being people running around on the go and just trying to get these problems fixed, but they weren't really tracking how fast they were fixing the issues. They couldn't improve it. It was all just kind of happening real time in Slack, and it wasn't easy to track. And so what they did is they set up a system that actually goes the other way. It goes from Zendesk into Slack, takes urgent tickets, posts them into a channel in Slack. That team member is then @mentioned in the Slack thread, and then can reply. They could be on their phone, they can open up the thread, reply right from there, let them know what's happening with that issue. And it all gets synced back to Zendesk, but the ops team can just respond in Slack where they want to be. So that's allowed them to really improve the process of replying to these really urgent tickets while getting data and syncing the data back around it. And it's a ticket routing solution for them, depending on the priority level, depending on the location, depending on the SLA for that ticket. That's how they know whether or not to pipe it into the appropriate channel in Slack. So this is a kind of a more advanced, a 201 or a 301 type of a scenario for Breather, and I'll show you kind of what they've got set up. It's pretty cool. So a lot of what we do is really dependent on triggers in Zendesk. So they're using triggers in Zendesk very extensively. They've got a lot of them set up. They're really organized, and they're really, really powerful. So I'll show you kind of an example of the two types of triggers that they use. The first one is the default BubbleIQ trigger that we help install into the product. It automatically gets installed when you install our product. And this trigger, it has a couple conditions. The first one in this instance is the ticket has this tag, BubbleIQ. The second one is that it's urgent. It's a really high priority ticket, and that's mapped to send to the BubbleIQ servers. And when it hits the servers, we map it to a specific channel in Slack. And so I've set that channel up over here in urgent tickets so that you can see here's the primary channel that's mapped to that trigger. So that's our first trigger, that an example of similar to what Breather would have set up. The second trigger they have, this is really cool. I really learned this from their head of support, and he's really great at building these really cool triggers. So what this one does, it's similar conditions. So it's also looking at those urgent tickets with the tag BubbleIQ on them, but the action, what it's actually doing is posting an internal note onto that ticket. So what that does is it posts an internal note that tags somebody on the team, and this is their Slack username. So it's tagging their Slack username. And then you'll notice there's this other tag contains none of the following. Basically what it's doing here is making sure that it doesn't get into an endless loop. So it posts this update. We don't want this to happen every single time there's an update. We don't want it to continue to loop. So what we do is we add this IN tag so that as soon as the internal note's been posted, then this condition comes up as false and this trigger doesn't run again. Okay, so a little complex there, but that's the way that you're able to actually post an internal note when these urgent tickets. So first they're sent to Slack, and then this internal note is posted onto the ticket. So let's kind of see this working in action. So we've got the this ticket here from Angry Customer 5000. The Wi-Fi is not working. They're trying to get into the space and it's not working. You can see this is an urgent ticket. So really high priority for them. And let's just give it that BubbleIQ tag as well to make sure that it matches all of our conditions. And we'll go ahead and submit that ticket. Okay, so you can see that a few things have happened here. So the first update has posted. You can see that we've got an internal note that's posted as well onto the ticket. And you can also see that we've got a few more tags. This IN tag, this urgent ticket tag have all posted to the ticket. And the other thing that's happened is this is posted into Slack, right? So what's happened here is the messages, the whole backlog of the tickets has posted in, and then the internal note has also posted and tagged the person in the comment. So now that person could hop into here and say, we're on our way. Can I get this fixed soon? So that's really quick response from them. They could be on their phone. They're able to easily and quickly respond to that ticket. Maybe even pop into here up and change the ticket from here, maybe assign it to themselves. So Zoolander's in charge of this. And maybe once they've gotten to the space, they say, you know what, this ticket's solved. So let's update the status to solved. And boom, that ticket's solved. It's all done. And we're good to go. So just like that, the team at Breather is able to really change the way they're handling these urgent tickets, and their operations team has absolutely loved being able to answer tickets on the go and respond to tickets really easily from there. And what have the results been for them? They now are able to track their response times and their resolution times on these urgent tickets, and they're doing amazingly well. They've got 18-minute response times, 4.7-hour resolution times, really impressive metrics from them, and everything's tracked between the support and operations interactions. So that's been a huge success for them. One of their big goals for last quarter that they've now checked off and is a great success. They're also now kind of expanding that beyond the operations team and into the sales team and helping their sales team get visibility into some support tickets and what's happening over there and letting them chime in from Slack as well. So that's all we've got for you. It's kind of quick and hopefully value-packed little webinar. Just to summarize, BubbleIQ helps you solve tickets faster by connecting your real-time team chat tools with your ticketing system of records, such as Zendesk. If you enjoyed this, if some of this stuff seemed really cool and felt like you could get better at the way that you're using Zendesk and really improving Zendesk, we've got an ebook. So check out our blog, and you can download that ebook for free, the big little book of Zendesk hacks for customer support managers. It really will help you harness the full power of Zendesk. And if you're not trying BubbleIQ out yet, we're offering a special extended 2-week free trial for those of you watching this webinar. So go ahead and head over to our website and get that started. I know some of you are already customers that are watching right now, so thank you. But if you're not, feel free to go ahead and give it a whirl. So that's all I've got for you today. Thanks so much.